I'm going to tell you a story about something that happened a long time ago. It was August 1996. Bill Clinton was in the White House. Independence Day was in theaters. I was at the beach with my parents. Everything was awesome except me. I was a big nerd. I was a big dumb nerd and nobody liked me. How things have changed. I was super nerdy. I liked Louis Armstrong and Marx Brothers movies, and those were the coolest things about me. The few friends I had were weirdos. They were all like misfit toys, super damaged, dangerous people, unpredictable. To give you an example, my best friend, his name was Nick, and he was a psycho. He was always getting into fights with his dad, like fist fights, like MMA fights. He was a year older than anybody else in our grade because he got expelled so much. One time, my favorite is he got expelled for abusing cough syrup at school. And they found out he was doing it because he fell asleep in class and they couldn't wake him up because he was drinking so much NyQuil. Trying to get high on NyQuil. I didn't understand. I was like, why don't you just get high on DayQuil? Wouldn't that... Right? I didn't even know if that works. I was super straight. I was like... I had never drank, I'd never done any drugs, I was super lame, very nerdy. So I'm there at the beach, hanging out with my parents, hating every second of it. I was at the age where I hated my parents. I thought they were dumb, they were boring, I didn't want to be at this stupid beach. I'm looking around and there's hot girls everywhere, running around in bathing suits, and the appealing thing wasn't that they were hot. The appealing thing was like that they were happy and they were running around and smiling, and I was like, that's incredible. I want some of that. And I must have said it out loud. I said, I wish I could go talk to some of these girls. And my mom says, well, why don't you go talk to them then? And I look over and she's reading her paperback. She's got big sunglasses on so I can't read her expression or anything. And I was like, what do you mean? And she goes, why don't you talk to him if you want to talk to him? If you want to talk to him, you can. Go for it. I was like, well, what if they don't want to talk to me? What if they make fun of me? What if I embarrass myself? And she's like, that could happen. Mom not sugarcoating anything for her son. I'm old enough, right? Give it to me straight. Well, now I have to go talk to a girl, otherwise I look like a big pussy. So I get up, I hike up my old swim trunks, and I'm surveying the beach. I'm looking for the woman most likely to talk to me. And I spot her. And she is easy to spot because she's the only person wearing a long-sleeved black t-shirt at the beach. And she's on a towel, but it's not a beach towel. It's clearly just a towel she stole from a motel. It's not big enough. But she is very pretty at the same time. She's tall, she's got long legs, and she's very thin and super pale. And she's like a basketball player vampire. And I am very interested. I'm like, this is my mark. So I walk over and I say, hey, how you doing? And she goes, awful, it's hot as shit out here. Oh, well, it is the beach. I say, hey, you want to go get some ice cream? And she goes, no. Want some vodka? And she hands me a Sprite bottle. And from there, we just hit it off. It was the beginning. We started with it was like a race car race, but instead of a checkered flag, it began with a big red flag. This chick was a fucking car accident. And very appealing to me. She was way older. She was 21, ancient, you know. And it turned out she lived very close to me, actually. So we got back from the beach, we started hanging out. And the first time I went over to her apartment, the first thing I noticed was that someone had spray painted the word horror on her door. In big red spray paint, like the whole door. Like they didn't just spray paint like horror, they went like, horror! Like they were angry when they painted it. And we walk in and she nods to it, she goes, my ex-boyfriend, he's crazy. And I want wanted to seem cool and world-weary too, so I was like, yeah, love's a monster. And she had wild mood swings. And she was always taking naps at strange times of the day. And I found out one day why. She called me, and she was very sleepy. And I'm talking to her, and she's like, keeps falling asleep in the middle of the conversation. So I say, hey, you know what? Why don't you call me back later, take a nap or something? She goes, no, I don't want to sleep. I'm on heroin, and if I fall asleep, I won't be able to enjoy the high. So keep talking to me. And I said, okay, what do you want to talk about? Heroin? That's the only subject I can think of. That's all I can. She's like, yeah, I don't give a shit, sure. Damn, dude. Alright, well, my mom's in the kitchen. I'm about 10 feet away. Let me go down to the basement so we can finish this conversation. And I did not stop being friends with her. I just wanted acceptance. I would take any friends. I wanted to be cool, and she was kind of cool. She listened to, like, you know, the Pixies and things. And so I put up with it. We kept hanging out. Sometimes she was on drugs, sometimes she wasn't. One time we went to see Eyes Wide Shut. I look over, she's sleeping. I go, this fucking junkie. On the nod. I nudge her. I go, hey, you're sleeping. And she goes, I know. If she was just bored. It's a boring movie. Here's how you can tell Stanley Kubrick is a great filmmaker. Who else could make a movie about millionaire secret orgies and make it boring? That's not easy. He's a master of his craft. So finally, the relationship reaches its terminus. She asked to borrow some money. She's like, can I borrow $75? I say, is it for drugs? She goes, absolutely not. We both know it is, and I go, okay. And I give her the money, because I'm like, well, this will get her out of my life. This is the end of the relationship, which it was. I told my friend Nick, psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? I told him that I gave her $75, and he's like, give me your address, I'm gonna murder that whore! I go, look, dude, why don't you take a sip of NyQuil, calm down. It's okay. About a week later, he comes to me and he goes, can I borrow your trumpet? I've been getting really into Chet Baker. Chet Baker, as you may know, he was a very famous trumpet player, also a heroin addict, famously fell from a balcony in New Orleans. Beautiful voice. So Nick tells me, let me borrow your trumpet. I'm getting really into Chet Baker. I thought he meant he was getting into Chet Baker's music, not Chet Baker's drug use. He was also doing heroin, and he sold my trumpet to buy heroin. Why? Why? What is it about this face that drives heroin addicts wild? Why do they seek me out like some nerdy flame? And that's when I realized they weren't seeking me out. You ever see like a guy, one of these guys that they're like, women are crazy. All women are crazy. And it's like, no, it's just all the ones you're dating. And that's a choice. If you're eating M&Ms and every single one has a peanut in it, those are peanut M&Ms. You bought them. They didn't jump in your pocket. You don't like nuts? Get them plain. I was choosing drug addicts and stuff because, like, I was afraid if I tried to make friends with a normal person, they'd be like, you nerd. So I was choosing people that, like, didn't give a shit who they were hanging out with because they were high. A week later, my mom asked me, hey, where's your trumpet? Your little brother wants to use it. And I go, oh, Nick has it. And she goes, we'll get it back. Your brother wants it. And I go, well, pretty sure he sold it for heroin. No clever way to say it. No euphemism that I can think of that softens the sting of that statement. But, yeah, my best friend sold my trumpet for heroin. And I never thought, I'm 17 years old at this point, right? I think my mom's a total dummy. I never thought I would be in this situation where I was looking to her for advice. What do I do next? Where did I go wrong? I need some advice. And she gave me some. She said, never give your trumpet to a heroin addict. to listen up to the fun. Thank you.